Happy Shin Ultraman release day there, everybody. Be sure to go out to all your local theaters and go support the latest Ultra Buddy if and only if you live in Japan. It's only out in Japan. Who knows when we're going to see it? I mean, I've already been spoiled by the figure listing, so... Fuck. Today we're going to be talking about the SH Figuarts Shin Ultraman. Released in June of 2021, Shin Ultraman received his SH Figuarts rep in glorious fashion. Except for mine, of course, which broke out of the box. Thank you to Corey yet again for hooking me up with a replacement copy. Mwah. Based on his look in the latest Ultra movie from directors Shinji Higuchi and writer-producer Hideaki Anno, will Shin Ultraman rise to the occasion, or will he bust all over Asuka's titties? There he is! Finally! And good gracious, I do mean finally. I've been meaning to get myself another copy of this guy since the other one broke, but as you know, last year was the year that it was, especially for us Movie Monster series collectors. But enough reminiscing of things that I already stated in the intro, let's take a closer look. Shin Ultraman is pretty Shin Ultra basic when it comes to paint, and no, that is not a bad thing in the slightest. Less paint means less mess-ups and broken hearts, and for the most part, my copy turned out pretty dang good. Yes, we'll have a few instances of some paint moving out of where it's supposed to be, such as this line forming into a triangle on his shin over here. A little bit of some messy paint here on the back. But for the most part, that's pretty much the only tiny little flubs that I've seen on this figure. Anything and everything else that is present that might be considered a flub, I really don't see as a distracting one. And just like that, paint's going to get a solid star. And now moving into detail, one thing I absolutely loved about this figure when I originally got it last year are the eyes. I imagine it's a very, very simple thing to do, but I just love how these look. The faint color behind them, the shiny and textured bits all over the eye, I just love this. And of course we have the standard Ultraman face with ears and eye switch. For those who don't remember, the little switch in the ear over here was actually the switch used to turn on the lights in the mask of the original Ultraman suit. Whether this was a polite nod to the fans who know about it, or if it's going to have some significance in the movie, I don't friggin' know! But I've been impressed with it with every Shin Ultraman figure I've gotten thus far, and I am impressed with it here. And when it comes to Shin Ultraman's Shin Ultra hands, they are all very beautifully detailed, I will say. They all look like purely organic hands and not hands that are being fit into a very thin, wrinkly suit and or glove. The differing portions of Shin Ultraman's body are not just painted on, but they are part of the sculpt. And you will see that on pretty much every point where silver meets red. And I do very much mean every point, be it on the shoulder, the butterfly joint, the very base of Shin Ultraman's neck, the Shin Ultra thighs, the Shin Ultra knees and kneecaps, and the Shin Ultraman shins. Not to mention, we will get some slight muscle definition around the pectorals and near the abs. I do feel that is pretty visible in the shins and calves as well. And it will not be present, unfortunately, in the Ultra cheeks. Listen, man, just because homie over here is an alien doesn't mean he don't need that junk in the trunk. But thankfully, if you bend him further down, you will see that, yes, there are some Ultra cheeks to be had. It's just the definition and tone in them is not really all that good. Although, props for the Ultra Wedgie. Detail is going to get a solid star, and despite there not being too much on this guy, I still find his overall shelf presence rather effective, even if he is just friggin' standing there. For example, Shin Ultraman is thin, he is gangly, he definitely doesn't look like a guy in a suit, especially when you see what he looks like in the movie. But when you look at the SH Figuarts Ultraman Trigger over here, you can see some very visible differences. And by some very visible differences, I mean Ultraman Trigger looks like a human, Shin Ultraman looks like a very, very skinny human. My, what a critical talking point. Yeah, it's not as impressive as I may have been building it up to be, but I just find it cool. Anyway, before we move on to articulation, Shin Ultraman comes with a nifty box, some instructions, and a whole bunch of hands. The box is rather sleek and low profile, and it doesn't take up a crap ton of room, which is nice considering the last two SH Monster Arts figures I got had some rather boisterously large boxes. It's got a neat little open window on the back, and it's showcasing some poses back there as well. And yeah, let's just talk about the hands. Shin Ultraman comes with some Shin Ultra hands, so you may perform the Specium or Spacium Ray pose. Can be used for flying as well. He comes with another pair of relaxed hands, but these are more so open-fingered relaxed hands. As you can see here on the hands that Shin Ultraman came with already applied, they are much more closed off. These here, I feel, can be used for the Ultraman meme stance, but I think this is more so meant for his fighting stance. And speaking of fighting, here are some Shin Ultra fists. Yet again, fantastic detail. Accessories? Definitely a solid star, but I think it could have been an easy double solid star had we actually gotten a Specium or Spacium Ray to go along with this thing. Now, when it comes to replacing the hands, all you do is pull like so, and let's give him a fist, and you just push him back on, and yeah, they can do all the things alternate hands should be able to do. Ironically enough, and I don't know why, the hands on this copy are a lot easier to replace than the ones on my original copy. See? He's doing it! And now we can move on to articulation, which this figure has quite a lot of. Up first, we will have a ball joint at the neck, aiding in looking left and right and all the way around like so. There will also be a barbell joint in the head attaching to the upper part of the neck. I can't get the best grip on his fishy Ultraman head, but as you can see, movement is possible up there without moving the neck. Moving on to the arms over here, as you can see, we have a butterfly joint, we have a hinge at the shoulder, and another ball joint, aiding in the arms being able to go all the way around like so, and swivel. We will get a double bend at the elbow. We will also get a swivel at the elbow, as you can see. There will be a swivel at the wrist over here that can go all the way around, but when you take one of the many hands off, you will see that there is a hinge joint over here as well. Pretty basic stuff. Reapply the hand and go nuts with that hinge. We will get a ball joint at the torso and at the waist, aiding in a magnificent arching back for Shin Ultraman and an ab crunch for Shin Ultraman. The legs can kick forward this far, back not far at all, and this is why we need Ultra Cheeks. The legs can, however, move out pretty decently for a decent Ultraman split. We will get a swivel joint over here at the thigh, a double benderino at the knee, a ball joint at the ankle, giving us a magnificent pivot like so, aiding in poses, and we will get a pretty awesome toe bend over here. Well-seasoned Ultraman veterans, unlike myself, will be able to get Shin Ultraman into a plethora of poses, be them from Ultraman, Ultra 7, Return of Ultraman, Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Zerth, Dragon Ball Z, The articulation is solid, and I feel it will lead to some both hilarious and very screen-accurate poses. Articulation gets a solid star. Size comparison time: small, medium, large. A very basic figure at heart with a lot of strong points. Yes, while I do understand the notion to hide the Specium Ray from merchandising and such, I'm kind of bummed he didn't come with an effect part for that. Come on, we all knew he was gonna do it long before that teaser trailer dropped. And I think we're all over the whole hide from the public said character will be doing a thing they've been doing for decades thing. But again, overall, I am satisfied. I'm sure we'll get one with a surefire re-release that'll have more and cost more post-movie release. It's wild to think that this movie is finally out, and hopefully we don't have to wait too long to finally see it. I've got a couple of Shin Ultraman things coming in by the end of this month and likely into June. So if you enjoyed this video, I've got a bunch of other Shin Ultraman videos you can watch, and a few for you to be excited for in the coming months. And maybe even days. Anyway, I have been Shinrob Jira. I do so hope you enjoyed this video, and when next we meet, this time, for sure, on Wednesday, we will be talking about the Bandai Movie Monster Series Charcoal Statue Shingoji. It's not his official name, that's just what I call it. See you then.
Are you challenging me? You're in trouble.